Hello, this is Sean from the podcast Thrive Not Survive After Child Abuse. First of all, of course, Happy New Year. If you listen on this podcast today, as it is recorded, it is January the 1st, 2021. A lot of people, are happy to leave 2020 behind. I think I have heard that. This year more than any other year, where they say I want to leave the other year behind. And my question is, of course, was it all that bad in 2020? No, of course not. Actually, a lot of people would testify that it was not all bad. We had to deal with very serious things. And of course, the number one thing we had to deal with was COVID-19 and all the things that were around it. And if you were affected by it personally, of one of your close family members or friends, then I'm truly sorry for that and hope that will be a lot better in 2021. Right? But if there's one thing that I heard also in 2020 is that a lot of people, because they had to work from home, they had to work in smaller groups, they had to work online, what have you not, had a lot more time to spend time, thinking and reflecting about how they would actually like to live and how they, maybe could change things. And a word that came up very quickly in that discussion was pivot. Maybe we need to pivot thing, right? Very in the beginning, we were all talking about the new normal, and or hopefully we switch very quickly back to normal. Well, I don't know so much what normal is, to be honest, folks. But what I do know is that a lot of people started to see that they, were kind of happy to kind of ease down. They started not to know, or they started to actually to find out in what kind of treadmill they constantly were in, and literally running their life instead of living life. And a lot of people that I hear said, no, if there's one thing that I will take from the lessons of living in 2020, that is that actually I want to make sure that I spend more time on the things that are important. And I now also see what's very important in life all together. Now, we often say that, by the way. We often say if you went through a certain, ordeal that, oh, this never, and I will never do this again. But strangely enough, very quickly, when everything comes back to normal, right, we tend to forget these things. And then we look back and say, oh, I had this revelation, or I had this goal to do in 2021, and something happened, and it didn't work out the way it was, right? And I did a few podcasts on how to achieve your goals, or how to be more successful in achieving your New Year's, not revelations, resolutions. I think I said the word revelation, but I mean, of course, the word resolution. That's what you have when you're not a native English speaker, I guess. So one of the things that I would like to wish for you is that you be fiercely authentic and bravely be you in 2020. That's what I said. That's my motto. Be fiercely authentic and bravely be you in 2021. And if you have followed the podcast on the two episodes before this one, then I talked about the imposter syndrome, right? And it sounds maybe the most easiest thing to do, be always yourself. We always say that, but it actually, appears to be one of the harder things to do, given the circumstances, right? Can you truly always be you? And what does that mean, right? Well, if you struggle with being you, and it means that you feel that you cannot express the way you want to express yourself, and all these things, of course, that you want to do within the limits that you respect other people and don't hurt them, then actually you should take that freedom to express yourself and do more the things that you want to do than doing the things that other people want from you to do. Right? I used to say, if you're not working on your own dream, chances are very big that you are working on someone else's dream, right? So take that with you. So if you are not working on your own dreams, very chances are very big that you work on other people's dreams. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, working for other people. Another quote that I've used in 2020 a lot: if you don't put your life in service of other people, then what does life mean altogether? And I think we are challenged for that. We have been thrown back on ourselves a lot, had to think a lot about ourselves, but do know that in these challenging times, people are actually also more in dire and more need than more than ever. So part of really feeling that you are yourself is still putting your life in service of other people. How strange is that may be, right? If you know, I am not so big proponent of all this, hoo-ha around self-love. I believe in self-care, take good care of yourself, nutrition, and so on and so on. Not so much thinking that you have to love yourself first before you can love someone else. That's that. I always think that you can see how you love other people through other people, and because of and through that, you have to be your authentic self, right? Be who as much as you can, who you truly are. So this is maybe January 1st is often a day where there's not so much to do, and the days after the holidays, it kind of everything winds down a little bit. Maybe it's a good time for you to write down is if I would be totally me, what would I do and what would I be? Uh, what are the people that would be around me? How would I express myself? It could be even so far as, what are the clothes that I would truly wear, right? Often we put on clothes because we have to go somewhere. But a lot of people, they like to wear clothes to express themselves, if that's your thing, right? You know, if you are on the street and you hear a nice song, it would be really weird if you just make a dance then, right? But, it's maybe not so weird if we would all do that, but we would try to be all very neat and correct. And, if you drive a car, that's a good thing, There's a rule that you stay in your own lane and stuff like that. So in a lot of cases, you have to conform to the rules of life. But there are many occasions where you can actually take a little bit more freedom, be more free, share your joy a little bit more, smile a little bit more to other people, to strangers. Don't cocoon yourself, right? Be more conscious about the we, as I talked about as well, and not only about the me. And your authentic self comes more out of you. So that's my happy New Year wish for all of you, to be fearlessly authentic and bravely be you in 2021. It's not so easy to say how to do that, but I think if you think about it, actually, when I posted that, I already received a few personal messages from people saying, "Hey, can you help me to do that?" So, so I wish that for you, and I hope to hear you back with a normal episode of the podcast Thrive, Not Survive After Child Abuse. This was Sean, and I hope to hear you soon. Bye bye.